now the drums beat up again. For all true soldiers, gentlemen, let us list and march, I say, over the hills and far away. Over the hills and o'er the main, to Flanders, Portugal and Spain. Command commands and will obey. Over the hills and far away. Of gentlemen who have a mind to serve a queen, both good and kind, enlist and enter into pay. Then over the hills and far away. Over the hills and o'er the main, to Flanders, Portugal and Spain. Command commands and will obey. Over the hills and far away. No more from sound of drum retreat, while Marlborough and Galway beat the French and Spaniards every day. Over the hills and far away. Over the hills and o'er the main, to Flanders, Portugal and Spain. Command commands and will obey. Over the hills and far away. 40 shillings on the drum for those who volunteers do come. For shirts and clothes and present pay. Over the hills and far away. Over the hills and o'er the main, to Flanders, Portugal and Spain. Command commands and will obey. Over the hills and far away. The apprentice Tom he may refuse to wipe his angry master's shoes, but then he's free to sing and play. Over the hills and far away. Over the hills and o'er the main, to Flanders, Portugal and Spain. Command commands and will obey. Over the hills and far away. We then shall lead more happy lives by getting rid of brats and wives. Hold on both the night and day. Over the hills and far away. Over the hills and o'er the main, to Flanders, Portugal and Spain. Command commands and will obey. Over the hills and far away. For if we go 'tis 1 to 10, but we return all gentlemen as well as they. Went over the hills and far away. Over the hills and o'er the main, to Flanders, Portugal and Spain. Command commands and will obey. Over the hills and far away.
How's it going, boys? How's it going? We have a grand total of 2 people in the chat. Hello, Rook takes Rook. Rook taking Rook, sir. Hello there, sir. You should always take the Rook. Always. It's a Rook off in the middle of the board. But hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. For those of you watching this in the future, hello. I intend to do more streaming, so I even took the effort to bother to actually sort out all of these transition screens. All of this stuff. There we go. Does that work now? Hey, there we go. It's a bit muted though, isn't it? It's a bit low light. Why is that happening? Why is that happening? I might have to look into that. It'll be good enough for now. But I'm dressed up today. I might make a habit of wearing a suit and stuff. It make it feel like this was a job, you know? Make it feel like this was something important I was doing. But yeah, I've done all these transition screens. Look at that. Professional. I just need to get a new camera and sort out the lighting situation because it's a bit stark, isn't it? I can't even, if I turn up. That's as good as I can get it with like a little lamp in the corner. Is this better? I think the big light's better, at least for me. So, yeah, I'm all dressed up. I won't go into it, but I had a thing. So I figured I'd just carry on wearing my suit because I thought I looked pretty good. I'm not happy with the beard though. It's got to come off. It's got too long. I'm becoming unkempt with it. And I don't like having a bearded face, but like, basically this is where it gets to every 3 weeks. I have to, I don't know. Anyway, hello. I meant to do more streaming. Unfortunately, my son's been a bit sick. Not like anything major. He's just had this viral thing for about 3 weeks now, 4 weeks. We took him to hospital when it first happened. Temperature went high. He wasn't feeling too well. They said it was viral. Just leave it. It'll probably pass. Cool. Thanks. It's the NHS. And he carried on with it for a week. Then we took him to the doctors, and they said the same thing. Anyway, on Monday, his temperature shot up to like over 40 odd. So we took him to an emergency GP. It's a doctor in a little room. Anyway, and then they gave us antibiotics for him. So he's been on antibiotics all week. But he's just been coughing loads today, but not like bad. He's fine. He's eating fine. Everything's fine. It's just exhausting because like he wakes up in the night and all this sort of stuff. It's been very exhausting. So I haven't really felt like it. I'm wobbling my desk here. Yeah. So that's where I've been. I intended to do more streaming, but just haven't got around to it, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm here now. I intend to do more, and like I say, I might stick with the suit. I've only got the one suit though now because I stopped wearing suits for work like about 8 years ago. So I threw all my suits away about 5 years ago because they were 10-year-old suits. There would be 10-year-old suits at this point. You can't wear a 10-year-old suit. But this one I bought fairly recently for my son's christening, in fact. You know, I live in the country now, you see, so I have to go for that look. You know, I've got a fob watch. I've got a gold-plated fob watch. But yeah, and I've had a bunch of other stuff as well with my car. Maybe I'll whinge about that in a minute. But yesterday, and more importantly, is this JD Vance? No, it's not. Thank you, man. He's getting better. He's fine. It's just one of them things. The kids, man, they pick it up. Well, he's hot. To be honest, it's worked out quite well because his nursery he goes to a nursery in the week for a couple of hours, and it's like at a school. Anyway, his nursery has put out a message today. He's been off all week. We didn't send him in. He hasn't been since Monday, and he came back early, like because he wasn't feeling too well. But they've put out a message today saying they basically closed the nursery because there's sickness all over the place. A lot of them have got what he's got, but then there's been a bout of chicken pox and some other stuff, gross stuff, kid stuff. So he's actually probably, the fact that we didn't send him in since Monday, he's avoided all the lurgies that have assailed that little group of kids. So yes, so good, it's good. But thank you, Imperial Toast Lord. Thank you very much. But yeah, I hope you've been enjoying the videos as well. Recently. I don't know who that is, man, Jackson. I appreciate that, though. I'll look into it, man. But what was I going to say? I've lost my train of thought now completely. Man, it's gone. Yeah, yesterday. I was going to stream yesterday. But obviously, I was just shattered. I've only had a good night's sleep last night, about 6 hours, which is the most I've had in one go for about 2 weeks. But hence the unkemptness. But, see, it's great. Look at these waistcoats. I wish they'd come back, man. I guess they never went away. But that's great. You can just stand there like that. You don't have to put your hands in your pockets. It seems a bit slovenly. You can just, you know what I mean? You can maintain a posture. Yeah, yesterday, big announcements about Total War. Now, we all know Total War Warhammer hasn't worked out as well as we would have liked. I still like the game, and I'm going to play it later. Once I finish waffling about all this stuff, I'm going to have a gaming session. We're going to paint the map red. I've never bothered to actually conquer every single province on the map. But they've put a new update out today. Apparently it fixes all of the recent issues. I don't know if it does. Maybe it does. But I'm going to play that. We're going to take Carl Franz for a run and take the world for mankind. But that's coming up. That's coming up. Yeah, big announcements that came out. And we'll look into these things in a minute. But there's some Dawn of War stuff. A new trailer's been released there. It looks like Lionel Johnson's going to be showing up on Kronos, which seems a bit... I don't know. That seems a bit much, you know? That seems a bit much. But, you know, I guess it's fine. But, like, how can anyone lose? How can the Primarch lose? So it kind of seems like the power scale, like they're not evenly matched. You know what I mean? It's one thing to have the Blood Ravens chapter versus Necron Lord we've made up versus Orc Warlord we've made up. But now it's like, and a Primarch. One of the most killy ones. Okay, cool. Yes, I am a handsome man. It's true. But free price for the Well, waistcoats are amazing, man. I rarely get to wear one. Like I say, I only own this one. I used to own a couple when I worked in office environments. If they're Lion and Gilliman meet and talk, I'll be happy. Well, you know what? I am completely behind on all that. I'm aware vaguely of what's happened, but I'm just completely behind on that stuff. Since I've had my kid, it's just like my energy levels and everything have gone. The only thing I've kept up with, the last 40k book I've read, because I'm not too keen on the ones that have come out. They don't look very good over the last year or two. The only ones I've been keeping up with is the Belisarius Call ones. Now, I know Call is a deuce, yeah? He's well, people think he's like a Mary Sue or something like that. But he's not. He's a very interesting character, very well written. Guy Haley's done a fantastic job with them. I recommend the great work. It is a great book. I really fell in love with the Belisarius Core character. But the last one they brought out when he meets Fabius Bile, I didn't like it. I know. But I didn't like it. It wasn't very good. It was a shame. It was okay. It was like mid-tier, you know. It wasn't like bad. But I know what it was. I was expecting it to be like... I was expecting the Fabius Bile that he did to be as good as Josh Reynolds' Fabius Bile. And if you've never read the Fabius Bile series by Josh Reynolds, I highly recommend it. I think it's probably the best 40k stuff there is. It's amazing. It's really good. Full of little, gags and jokes. Nietzsche quotes throughout. It's good fun. But it wasn't that on that level, It was okay. It wasn't on that level. But I've just bought the new one because GW sent me a £10 voucher about like 3 weeks ago. And I was like, what am I going to... Well, I've got to use it, haven't I? So I went and bought the new book. So it's sat now at the Games Workshop because my missus has also been not very well. And she works part-time. And the Games Workshop... There's a Games Workshop near her place of work. So I ordered it there so I didn't have to pay postage. So I paid £10 for this new hardback book. But obviously that was 2 weeks ago now. So she hasn't really... She failed me. And I'm reconsidering a lot of things because of this. If you can't rely on them to do a simple thing, what can you rely? What can you rely on them for? But yeah, she's got to go and pick that up for me. It's been sat in the Games Workshop for 2 weeks now, so yeah, that's got to be collected. But yeah. One spray can. Yeah, well, it just came off, Callum. It just came off, man. I just took it off I just deducted it from the thing and ordered it to the shop, so I had free postage. But I wanted the book, and I like to read those books rather than just listen to an audio book because I think he does a good job normally. Guy Haley. It's just the last one wasn't quite there for me. I know what it was though. I was disappointed in Fabius Bile. Anyway, so let's have a look at some of these things that have gone on. It's day 5. It's the 5th of December. Oh, God. I hate the new website. It's so clunky. They probably paid someone thousands to remake it. And it's so clunky. Right. Have they got any stuff about the Total War? Is this the best place to go? Oh, and I'll probably stream tomorrow because the new Space King's out. So we'll watch that together when it's released. Okay. I just don't know what time it'll be. So maybe I'll just start streaming and we'll wait for it to come out. Probably be about 5, 6 o'clock, I would have thought. For me, anyway. So whatever that is, US time or European time. Europe's like 2 hours ahead, isn't it? Or 1 hour ahead? Depending. And then America's like 5 hours behind or 8 hours behind. So whatever. Calculate that in your head. Look out for me. I'll be live. What they're doing. So, what should we do? What does Valrak do? What does Valrak do? I'm going to steal his shtick. No, I'm not. I don't need to. Look at me. Come on. Right, the Necromunda stuff is all coming out. This is your Warhammer live stream. There's all this stuff coming out. There's this other stuff coming out. look at him, he's interesting. There's some other stuff out, blah, blah, blah. I'm actually going to pick this up because I'm guessing there's going to be some tasty lore in there. I like to pick up the books. I've picked up all the Necromunda books and I never played Necromunda. Well, not this edition. I played it a bit when it was first out. But all right. So there's this Aranthian succession, right? And to put it briefly, they brought out Necromunda. And I tell you what, as someone who plays Middle-earth, it's a bit frustrating seeing Necromunda get so much attention because I never see anyone playing Necromunda or talking about it or anything. But it must sell more than Middle-earth because otherwise GW put more effort into it. But this is a new supplement, so it's adding all these additional gangs and stuff in there, and they look quite nice. You know, additional bits, all this stuff. But like they've had the Aranthian succession. So basically, what's the name of the guy? Cal Jericho's dad. Anyway, the governor of Necromunda has died, and then now there's like him and someone else. Maybe there's other factions. I haven't really read it all, so I don't know. I just briefly understand what's happened. I've got the books here. I haven't read them. They're having like a little bit of a civil war or whatever about who's going to rule Hive Primus afterwards, now. And this guy's taken over. It says it here, doesn't it? Witness the final chapter of the sprawling Aranthian succession narrative in Spire of Primus. So with Necromunda, they release these gang books, and it's got bits of lore in there and all the new different gangs and stuff like that. It's like themed around certain things, you know, like the desert tribes, all that sort of stuff. Different things. You know, this is the Van Saar book, etc. This is the Goliath book. And then themey ones about this is the Ratskins. Are the Ratskins still in it, or have they changed them? I don't know. I haven't read the books. They're all stacked up here. I haven't even taken the film off them. Anyway. They then started doing this, which is like a sort of themed narrative, as it says, and this is the third book of that. So I do actually want to read it because I reckon it'll be quite entertaining to read. There should be some funny things in it, but now there's a wonderful Oz. As the beneficent and wonderful Ozostium Aranthus takes his well-deserved place, is this spoilers, atop the throne of Necromunda, with gangs across the planet scrambling to take advantage of the new normal. Oddly, not everyone agrees with his usurpation of the Imperial House, and Lady Helmore, Cal Jericho's dad. Still, and his mom's an Inquisitor. If you've read the comics, you know. Cal Jericho, great character. Again, one of Josh Reynolds' most underrated books. That Cal Jericho book he did, fantastic. Loved it. Still has a bone to pick with the returned prince. This 128-page book contains extensive background lore, wrapping up the Aranthian succession story. I saw somewhere else it mentions... This is why I want to read it. It really got me interested in reading it again, even though I've been collecting the books and I haven't touched them. So all this has happened, and so he's taken over now, but then it isn't set in stone. There's still stuff going on. She's another character, Lady Hera Helmore. He's got loads of kids, this Helmore. He was very busy, which I guess why wouldn't you? But like that Beastman, he's supposed to be one of his kids, a mutant. Anyway. Yeah, he mentions something about like the Imperial Fists have said that he's got like 90 days to secure his succession before they step in, and because there's like been like a minor civil war going on basically. So that's Necromunda is a very important world, like on the scale of what Armageddon was before it was invaded and sort of destroyed and turned into a fortress world. It's like Necromunda is an industrial power within the Imperium, you know, Imperial armies, as well as so many weapons on Necromunda. Imperial armies are like outfitted with like all their equipment, all is made on Necromunda, you know. It's an industrial powerhouse. That's the story of Necromunda. So the Imperial Fists recruit from Necromunda. So they've got like a chapter fortress, or is it a space station? I forget. But they've got a presence there, and they always. So it's like, obviously it's a convenient thing that the Imperial Fists have always. So that Necromunda has got a garrison of Imperial Fists, only probably a small number, but like they're defended by Space Marines permanently, and they also actively recruit from the Underhive scum, because obviously the life of a gang, a youth in Necromunda manages to turn out, natural born killers, and that's what the Imperial Fists are after, of course. So they actively recruit from there, and it's like 1 in 1,000 makes it in there. The rest of them die or become chapter serfs, that sort of thing. So they actively recruit from there. So obviously they're saying this anarchy needs to end. You've got 90 days, mate, before we step in and resolve the situation. So it's interesting stuff. But yeah, that's something that's coming out. Now this one is the, I guess, the retcon work that they're trying to do to fit in all the, what do they use? Yeah, the Saturnine technology, because they've made it like a big deal within the Horus Heresy now, but it isn't mentioned in any of the books before. So they're trying to slip it in, in the lore. Which is fine, I don't mind that, you know what I mean? They invent new stuff all the time, tanks and things like this, and slip them in there and everything. But I want to pick it up, because that's nice, that's cool. I played this, I bought all this stuff, I never played the game. I've got the stuff, I thought everybody would be super into it, no one cared, no one was interested, at least within my area. So I sold it all, but it looks nice, man. It doesn't really play like how you think, though. It's like, I think it's only, you play a game, it only has like 5 turns. You have to get like objectives and stuff like that. It doesn't feel like a proper game. I wish they'd just brought back like Epic 40k, and then you could have all the Xenos races in there. It's a bit, just having Horus Heresy stuff is a bit boring. What else we got? Book of the year. I haven't read any books this year. Like I said, the last book I read was that Magnus thing, so I'm not going to bother looking at that. But here we go. So this is the big thing. Except cookies. What? Oh, don't even do this to me. Why are you doing this to me? Except cookies. Oh God. Okay, we'll pull them up in a minute. We'll pull up the trailers in a minute. Let's see what you're saying in the chat anyway. Red Rose. You say this. I'm from Staffordshire, man. You get me? I'm from Staffordshire. I'm not from Yorkshire. Anyways. Marcus Geiger counter. Hello there, sir. Yes, where are we? But yes, hello there, Mr. Valrak. We've been blessed by the presence of a big-time YouTuber. Where are we? What am I doing, man? What am I doing? I've completely lost my way now. Okay, apparently I've got to accept cookies. I don't know why that's happening. Yeah, let me pull this down a minute. Oh, you can't even see the screen. There we go. You can't even see the screen. Why didn't you tell me, chat? I mean, I wasn't looking at the chat either. I was just rambling. But hopefully that made sense to you. Okay, let's see if I can sort this out. Is this just like... Oh, God. Yeah, accept cookies. You don't need to... I don't think Games Workshop's going to try and scam me. Not like that, anyway. Hey! Alright, so, here we are. I'm going to put my headphones on. So we're going to have a look at this trailer for the end times, and then I'll probably rant about the end times for half an hour. Right. Oh, yeah. There we go. It's a bit dark, isn't it? It's a bit dark, isn't it? It's a bit dark. I'm trying to be professional. Look, I'm using my own, my headphones and everything.
Peggy 16.
It's a bit loud. Is that a bit loud? How does it sound on your end, boys? Is that way too loud? Is that way too loud? How's it sound? Is that a tweed suit? It is, yeah. But not like an expensive one. This was only like 400 quid. It's a cheap one. It's a cheap tweed suit. Where are we? Where am I? Where's that page gone? Is that too loud, chat? This is informative to me for future reference. Was that way too loud? The volume is okay. Okay. Okay.
The great work can begin.
There he is. There he is.
Rise, my Mortarks. You will come to me.
Hey!
Submit. Come to me and witness my ascension. The world is ending, and I shall reign over oblivion. Come to me, and for eternity, you will.
Now this is a very powerful moment. Here's Cetra. Cetra does not kneel.
Citra does not serve. Citra rules. So be it. I am death incarnate. This world will kneel.
The Black Pyramid! Right. Now, the end times, the end times, the end times. Should we explain the end times? You don't need to shoot them round here, you just run them over. Rook takes rook! If you want to rake in millions like Valrak, you have to banter and call us a bunch of bastards. Well, but that's a given though, isn't it? I already think of you as a bunch of degenerate scumbags. Was that going too far? Is that not playful enough? Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. The end times, man. Let's talk the end times. Let's talk the end times. So, before iOS, at the end of 8th edition, there was big rumours about what was going to come. And I remember being on... Is it Warp Storm? Is it the Warp Storm? What was it called? In fact, does it even still exist? What's a Warhammer forum? This is in the time of forums. For your kids out there. Forums were places where people would talk to people in threads and things like this on forums. I was never a big forum. I was a reader of forums. I was a lurker. I never really posted anything. Warhammer forum. Bolter and Chainsword's still up. Daka is still up. Do people still use forums? That's crazy, man. It's called Warp Storm. Was it called... Can't remember. It's the one I went to anyway. They had the most active rumour page, and people would post, and they would post fairly legitimate rumours, leaks from Games Workshop, and this is before they had a website. If you get me, like GW didn't. They had the website obviously for shopping and stuff, but they never had the community page website and stuff like that. So this is how they most likely were actually disseminating information, a lot like they used to do with a certain website, which I shall not name because I'm trying to be a good boy with the algorithm. So there's another website where an image board, you might say. They used to post stuff on there. Again, I never really used that thing either. But anyway, information and leaks and stuff were disseminated. I'm sure they still are. But this forum was pretty good, and he had a guy called Harry. And Harry had a picture of a pie. I remember this. He was the most prolific poster, and he basically leaked what was going to happen after 8th edition. He leaked the end times in an apologetic way. He was kind of saying, I really feel sorry for you boys because, like, I know what's coming now. I've given up on fantasy. I know what's going to happen. They're going to kill the universe, essentially, and stuff like that, and reboot it with this more manga sort of League of Legends type, World of Warcraft type thing, you know, cringe, lame. And he leaked it all out, he said, and no one believed him. I didn't believe him. I went into the end times. So what they did was, before we go into that, at the end of 8th edition, they'd been building up the lore and stuff like this to a certain point, but apparently, and the reason for this was, fantasy just wasn't selling. It wasn't selling. It wasn't selling as much as they wanted. Now, you may argue, of course it wasn't selling, because they were charging £90 or £60 for 10 greatswords, and in order to have a functioning Empire army, you needed 60. You know? Plus with the rules writing and stuff like this, they kind of turned it into like a Death Star army, a game. Like, it all revolved around having a Death Star thing, you know what I mean? You played elves, it was like, okay, well, you need white lions. With every hero you can fit in there. That sort of thing. Anyway, I was big on 8th edition. I went to a lot of tournaments and stuff. Friends of mine used to run the Midlands Open in Dudley. But anyway, yeah, they launched this new expansion series called The End Times. And Harry told me, didn't tell me personally, but I read Harry's posts saying that basically what was going to happen, essentially, without the details, and then Age of Sigmar was going to follow. And we didn't believe him, and I didn't believe him. But I got really hooked on the End Times. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well written. I found out Josh Reynolds wrote a lot of it afterwards. But the lore itself was cool. It was interesting. A lot of, like, the old grudges were finally settled, you know. It was really cool to see, like, this big invasion in the Empire. You know, Vlad von Carstein helping Karl Franz and stuff like that. I mean, I can't remember all of it at the second. It's a bit ropey in my memory because it was like nearly 10 years ago. But, or pretty much 10 years ago. Anyway, they launched End Times, and it was like in about 6 books, and then every book was like a new chapter in the story. You know, the Glockkin, all that sort of stuff. I thought it was pretty good. They had novels released as well to go along. Like, so they'd have the generic story, not the generic, but, you know, the story, the lore, and then they'd release a novel which would concentrate on a single character within that thing, and cover the events from their perspective. You know, they were pretty decent novels, all of them. Even the Gotrek and Felix novel tied into the End Times and ended. It was such a bad ending as well. I don't know. GW obviously wanted to reboot. They wanted to reboot, and they wanted to create a fantasy, an alternative to 40k they could run, which was like a fantasy setting, and that's what we ended up with, Age of Sigmar. And that was a whole other mess. When that launched, I was there, man. I went in with a positive attitude, man. I bought the starter set, you know. I went all in. I played some games with my mates. But then the moment it turned round to me saying, Marius Lightdorf, you've got to pretend to be a horsey and you get re-rolls, or whatever it was. I was like, no, man, this ain't it. And there was no points as well. They tried to make it like I don't know, there's a whole thing, right? There was all this stuff going on with, like, the management and all this sort of stuff. These were all rumours and stuff that people were talking about. It was a whole thing. But The End Times is a series of books, and each of them had like new army lists. They released a bunch of new models and stuff like that, expanded certain ranges and things like this, and then they just killed the universe. And it ended on basically the Warhammer world being destroyed because the Skaven nuked it. Oh no, the Skaven blew up the moon. And if you don't know, Morsleib, because they wanted the warp stone. And if you don't know, Morsleib, the moon, or is there 2 moons in 40k? I think there's 2 moons. Anyway, the one moon called Morsleib is actually a giant ball of warpstone. To Skaven, that's like a substance from Colombia, right? That's like, they live for that. That's what they eat. They love it. That was the currency in Mordheim, if you get me. Like, it was warpstone. It's about collecting warpstone. They blew up the moon. All the shards of the moon came down, but because it was warpstone, the same metaphysics exist within fantasy as do in 40k. So this giant ball of warp crystal blew up, and all the warpy bits came onto the planet and ripped the planet to pieces, and broke the barriers and whatever on the South Pole. So the warp rifts at the 2 ends of the world, in the North Pole and the South Pole, they tore the world asunder. And then Karl Franz, who had died, but at the second of his death, the spirit of Sigmar possessed him and his body. And then that creature, Sigmar, is then floating through the warp, and he meets a dragon who hands him a ball, and then that creates a planet, and then that creates a bunch of different planets, and then the Sigmarines are there. When they were first written, they weren't actually people. They were spirits inhabiting the armour. And I know this was true. I read the novel. I read the first novel with a guy flying along, throwing hammers at the warp gates. And I haven't kept up with Age of Sigmar since. Except to see the fish people. The flying fish people. Which I guess is no more ridiculous than anything else, but it just feels wrong. So yeah. And it's a real shame, because the End Times, the way it was written, was actually pretty decent. You know, you had these final confrontations. A few of the characters you saw in that trailer there. The Blood Knight dude, you know, who's actually a Bretonnian nobleman. Characters popping up you hadn't heard from for years, having their moment of glory, dying or killing someone they've been trying to kill for a while. You know, big, massive battles. And it went into detail as well, like on the individual units and stuff like that. It was really cool, really well done. You know, all the Ulthuan stuff and Malice Darkblade. Again, Malice Darkblade, it's like, that ended as a bit of a, like, it's like, oh, the demon just possessed him in the end. Kind of, you know what I mean? So it's like good and bad, but I wasn't expecting it to end how it did and in this way. But Harry told me. Harry told me how it was going to end, and I just didn't believe him. So from that day forth, I have essentially believed everything I've read on the internet, and it's really paid off for me, you know. I wish I'd taken that advice earlier, because I would have invested in Bitcoin when it was like a dollar. But you see, that's the lesson I learned afterwards. It was already too late then. Anyway, that's where I am with it. Is that a good all-round description of events? And they did Scar. Yeah, man. Although, one of the coolest moments was when he invades Carrick. It's like the final battle for the dwarfs, right? The Skaven. And again, it's like really weird as well, because you had the Skaven guy. What's his name? The one in the red armour. You know, he's like the big boss man. And he's going, like, I thought that was a really well put together character. You know, like he's starting to go grey. He's getting old now. He's old for a Skaven. He's 10 years old. But they go and invade Karazakarak, but it's got inbuilt defences. They've got gas. They've got gas. They release. So it's like, you know, Lord of the Rings, right? Imagine Moria. And all the Skaven are flooding in. And the dwarfs open up vents in the top of the roof opens up and vents open up and all this poisonous gas flows in and kills all the Skaven. Good stuff like that. What I wanted to find was, though, having seen that, then I've just reminded myself here. I want to find like Dark Omen, Final Battle Cinematic. Now, if you've never played Dark Omen, you should definitely go and look that up. It's a classic. Has someone got the HD? Oh, we'll watch these, boys. Oh, we're going to watch these. Oh, we're going to watch it. Oh, has he not got the wordy word stuff? Has he not got the words? Has he not got the words? Yeah, we'll watch this. We'll see if we can find it. I want to hear that dwarf guy going, "It's like hacking mush." I lived that game, man. I was there with them, the grudge bringers. I was a grudge bringer. Where's that gone? Yeah, we'll watch this. We'll watch this. There we go.
Electronic arts.
And it will be a time of great strife, when the moons are united in darkness, and the dead shall walk the earth once more.
The Black Pyramid! Yeah!
Unaware of the evil forces gathering in the southern lands, Commander Bernhardt's mercenary army, the Grudgebringers, defend a small trading post from attack by goblins.
Oh, God. What I was going to say was, that trailer did bring that back to me. It's got the vibe. You know, whatever you can say about it, artistically, aesthetically. CA did a really good job with fantasy. It has got that feel, you know. It'd be nice if it was a little bit more realistic and the siege battles weren't as terrible. But, yeah, you know, overall, it's an alright game. Anyway. Oh! I'm going to watch all of these in a second. Anyway, I'm just going to check the chat. I've got you in a different box. Sorry. What's with the suit? I just wanted to look dapper. Warcraft 2. Well, I mean, you know the story, don't you? Warcraft. The only reason Warcraft exists that it does today is because, like, is because GW and Blizzard couldn't come to an agreement. So, like, Warcraft and StarCraft, they basically should have been Warhammer 40k and Warhammer Fantasy game, but they weren't. But then GW ended up doing this with a much smaller producer, and I think they can't make it anymore. It's a real shame, because, like, I think there's all this kind of licensing type stuff. Ebola, maybe? No. I don't need to wear a hat. When you're nearly 40, boys, and I am nearly 40, very nearly 40, and you got hair like mine, you don't wear a hat. You want people to see it. Particularly all of your friends who are going bald or grey or both. You want them to see. You want them to see your glorious, unkempt mop. You want them to know. You want their wives to know. Yeah. Only joking. Right. I need a minute, boys. I'm going to go and make a coffee and we'll carry on. Yes, you see, Delta T. Like, jokes aside, I'm really happy with it. I'm really lucky. My dad never went bald or grey, though, until he was like 50. And he's only just started to do that now. So, you know, the blood of Numenor runs strong in my line, you know. He's he's doing all right for his age. So, yeah, what was I saying? May it stay with you. I hope it does. I hope it does. No, I am. I mean, I probably am going a bit grey. I've probably got little grey hairs, but I'm like got mousy, sort of browny blonde hair. So it doesn't show up. But I'm sure if I went through my hair, like I've had hairdressers said, there is one or two in there. But that was years ago as well. Like, it hasn't really gone any different. I don't know. I'm lucky. I am lucky. Very lucky. Very, very lucky. I know people have had to do some things in order to maintain themselves, and I sympathise. But I'm going for a coffee. Yeah, I am going for a coffee, Delta. I'm going to go for a coffee. Give me like 2-3 minutes. I'll be right back. I've got an end screen and everything, look. I've got an end screen. I've got a be right back screen. I went through and sorted all... Look at this, look at this, look at this. It's all proper. Yeah, I'll be right back, boys. Here we go. I'll give you some musical entertainment while I make a little quick coffee. Okay? Okay? Oh, why is this not working? Okay? I got it. Don't you worry, boys. I've got it. Where's my playlist? Oh, no, turn that off. Oh. Where are they? Where's the songs I can play? Oh. I got the Best of Creed on CD. Because I've still got a CD player in my car because it's a 2011 Mercedes. So it's got a CD player. But it has got a USB connection, but it doesn't work. I've got an old, nice car. I've got a nice car, but it's old. So I had to get CDs for it, and I bought Creed. And now I'm thinking, I mean, this is how old I'm becoming now. I'm like, maybe I was wrong about Nickelback. Maybe I was wrong about Creed. I was wrong about Creed. Can you take me higher? I love it, man. To a place where blind men see. Oh. Anyway, I'll put this on. I'll be right back. I'll just make a coffee.
Soldier blight and gay, and I'm rambling for promotion. I play the French and the Spaniards low, many miles across the ocean. I've travelled England, Ireland too, I've travelled Bonnie, Scotland too. Manny's the pretty maid of cause for Teru, I'm a bold and a rambling soldier. When I was young and in my prime, 12 years I went recruiting to England, Ireland, France and Spain, where'er there was no shooting. With a lady gay and a pleasant life, and every town a different wife. Seldom was there any strife with the bold and the rambling soldier. A town the shot I courted Jane, her sister and her mother. And all the time that I was there, they were jealous of each other. Our orders came and I had to part. I left poor Jane with a broken heart. From Aldershot we soon did part. I'm a bold and a rambling soldier. King he has commanded Catterick town, from Plymouth back to Dover. In whatsoever town that I went, the court, the damsels, I was bent. To marry none was my intent. I'm a bold and a rambling soldier. And now the wars are past an end, and I'm not ashamed to mention the king has given me my discharge and granted me a pension. No doubt some lass will me blame, but none of them can tell my name. And if you want to know the same, it's Jack the Rambling Soldier.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, my missus has put my kid to the bed. I had to go and say hello. Where are we? Where are we? Look at all these scenes. So, what was I talking about? What was I talking about, man? What was I talking about? What are you boys talking about? Oh, yeah. I don't even know how to do that. The blood thing. Yeah, tomorrow we'll be back and we'll watch Space King together. So save yourselves and we'll watch it together as soon as it's launched. I'll start streaming fairly early and do some gaming. So, end times. This is all a roundabout way for me to say I'm probably going to make a big end times video or several. It'll probably take about 3. But that's the only fantasy I'm going to do because fantasy stuff doesn't really do well for me. I did that whole Tamarkan thing and it didn't do very well. But the end times one, I want to do. I really enjoyed the end times. It's got a bit of sort of nostalgia value for me more than most things. Looking really Prince, mate. Thank you, Don Leon. I appreciate that. And you're right. Loving that mug. What? With the little rabbits on? I live in the country, man. Thunder Hooves with the 20 gifted memberships. Bro, That's insane, man. That's insane, man. That's insane. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Thank you so much. Massively appreciate it. Thunderhooves. I have made you a mod already, haven't I? God, man. Oh, man. I appreciate that, man. Looking spiffy. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, man. That'll go towards a new camera. Thank you, man. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I own a country coat. All right. That's super. That's amazing. Thank you, man. Don Leon Hype. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I think I can send memberships. Once a month, you can send 10 free memberships. So I'll send them 10 as well now. I've just remembered that. So even more memberships. There we go. Thank you. Mate, dude, thank you, man. I appreciate that. And thank you, Rook Takes Rook. I have not forgotten. I appreciate that as well. But yeah, there we go. That's 30 members extra this month, which is fantastic. Although I don't think I'll get any money from the ones I give out. I'll stop. I've got to do membership content, haven't I? That's what I've got to do. Maybe I'll put the reviews out. Maybe I'll re-upload all my old book reviews and make them members only. Maybe that'll be the gift I give. Because you've got to make it worthwhile for people. I've got to do something with Patreon as well. I've got to update that because I haven't updated that in years. I've got to become a proper YouTuber. You know? I have no skills or talents. I have no actual trade. So, other than generic office person. Yeah. AI's coming. I've got to be a live streamer. Yeah. Oh God. Okay. Where were we? So end times. Yeah. That's again. Thank you ever so much, man. Really appreciate that. Member streams are good too. Yeah. I'll do stuff like that. We'll sort it out. I've got to become a regular streamer, so like people come to the stream. I really appreciate you guys being in the stream. But like the channel's suffering because basically I had this gap. I only put out a bit of content because I had 2 strikes on the channel, so I had to be very careful, as you can understand, and that takes 80 days to wear off. Yeah, so I had to be very careful. So I'm suffering now, but we'll get back to where we were. We almost are actually in terms of views and stuff. My subscribers are going down like all the time. Well, it's basically holding. I've gained none and lost none for the last like 2 months. I gain 20 subscribers and then I lose 20 subscribers. It's really weird. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just being screwed over because they've just changed the algo for everybody. Everybody's complaining. I've just got the double whammy of losing my slot in the algorithm. So I'm trying to claw my way back up. But yeah, I'll be live streaming more regular, and you can hear my wisdom. And we'll do more fun stuff. Like I said, I've picked up all these. Oh, I've got to do Blood Quest again. I deleted the stream because it wasn't processing. I don't know why. So I deleted it. And I was concerned as well about why it wasn't processing. So I deleted it because at the time I still had my strikes. You get me? So I was trying to be careful. But yeah, I think I was just being paranoid. But paranoia keeps you alive. So yeah, I'll do Blood Quest. We'll go through Blood Quest again. But I got all these things. I got all these, man. I found all these out. You know, boom, boom. I'll pull the phone out and get in close, and we can read these comic books. These 40k comic books where a lot of the lore is hidden. All this stuff. And other stuff. We'll go through books and things. Yeah, the algo's like, it's ripping everybody. It's ripping everybody. But there's no point in complaining. It is what it is, you know. They're going to change it or they're not going to change it. There's nothing you can do. Oh no, it's really good for subs, man. But like, I get people in the comments all the time now saying, I have not seen any of your videos for months. You know what I mean? There's all this stuff happening. No. It's cool. If I stream more regular, more people will come. This is the first stream I've done for a month, other than like the rerun stream. So, yeah, it's to be expected. You've just got to build yourself up. You've just got to, you know, be consistent. Be consistent, do this more regular. And I'm only sort of half joking about the fear of the future. So this is a nice thing to have on the side for me, you get me? Anyway, where was I? I'll be doing end time stuff. I'll be doing big lore videos based on the lore books and so on. And, pulling in stuff from the old army books and other bits of lore that are knocking around and the novels and things like that. Trying to make it a bit more unique. But, look forward to that. If any of you are aware of... Well, I'll talk about that another time. But yeah, that's coming anyway. And, this Nagash End Times DLC... It's been coming for a while. I mean, obviously in the map, you've got Nagash, whatever it's called. Nagash's crib. That's down in the south. It's been on the map for a while. So we've known Nagash is coming. But I think they're probably just going to wrap it up. Because, and that's the big thing that's coming, they are most likely... Where's that gone? Oh, yeah. They are most likely going to be doing Warhammer 40k Total War. But I had a thought about this today. I think GW are a bit really obsessed about the popularity of Horus Heresy. I would not be surprised if it wasn't a Horus Heresy game rather than 40k. I would not be surprised by that. And if you think about it, it's very difficult to do a 40k game based on the sort of based on what's going on there. Am I thinning? Based on the based on Total War and how it works. I mean, the other big announcement was Medieval Total War is getting a reboot. It's getting a refresh. It's going to be a new version of that, which is the most exciting thing. But on the 11th or the 12th, I think it's the 12th for me. It'll be like at 12 o'clock at night, and I'll stream that. It'll be next week. I'll definitely be streaming that because it is going to be the announcement of the 40k Total War. But I don't know if it is going to be 40k. I don't know if it's going to be Horus Heresy. That's what I'm thinking. Because just the way I feel like they're really obsessed with it as like a property, and it would make more sense. Just hear me out. 40k is very difficult to translate into Total War as a game without making Total War a completely different game. And Total War is not going to adopt something like Sins, what's it called? Galactic Conquest. There's that one that was like a sort of Civ clone, but in space. Sins of a Solar Empire. They're not going to do that. Civilization. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that kind of space. RTS, if you want to call it that. I guess that's what it is. They're not going to do it. They're not going to change. Like, it's going to be fundamentally Total War. And the only thing I can think is that they're going to do it like Horus Heresy. I mean, they're obviously going to have to change it somehow. And I think it mentions that in the post. It's going to be like a revolutionary thing. So they're obviously going to make modifications. But it's still going to be the map and stacks. Like it has to be, because if it's not that, then it's not Total War at all. So, yeah, I think it might be Horus Heresy. Because if you think about it, that cuts it down to only really two sides. And because you can't just have it on one planet, because that's a bit cringe. That's why Dawn of War feels a bit stunted and limited and a bit weird that they've thrown in Lionel Johnson, without having someone of equal threat on the other side. Because I don't know how they could have, it's weird that they've put him in there, because there's no threat. He's Lionel Johnson. He will kill anything. He's Lionel Johnson. Have I got a spot here? I feel like I've got a spot there. Is that a spot? No. Is it just the light playing on my hairy nose? There's no threat in Dawn of War to justify having Lionel Johnson show up. It seems really weird. Anyway, I saw that and I was like, I mean, that's cool and stuff, but it's a bit strange. Anyway, where's this one? Yeah. We're going to watch some more of these because it's brought back all the memories for me. Shadow of the Horned Rat was a better game, I thought, in terms of the scope of it and all the battles and all the weird, interesting stuff that's in there. and the choices you can make, obviously, and stuff like that. But Dawn of War is like a better looking game and easier to play. But they're both really good. Shadow of the Horned Rat is great as well. Maybe we'll find them. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So I think it might be a Horus Heresy based game rather than 40k as such. I think so. I just got a vibe. I'm thinking, and it would make it easier to run it because it's two sides. You could then do like battlefronts. You could do it like that. Like you can have the whole galaxy map because you can need that. Unless you do it in like an isolated region, like the Sabbath worlds as an example. I'm just thinking it out now because it's. I don't know, man. I think it would be a mistake, though. They probably should. If they did do that, that would be a mistake. They should stick with 40k as such. And that's probably most likely what they will do. But I'm just saying there's a possibility, come Saturday, next week, whenever it is, whatever day it is, we may have a Horus Heresy Total War. But hopefully not. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's like 40k and it's like in a region of space. Away from Terra, Some way, a region of space, and somehow that you can have all the different races in there. And that's the reason why I think it's Horus Heresy. Because that's really difficult to do. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know what the mechanics of the game are going to be. But I know what it's got to have. It's got to have maps and stacks. So, yeah. Okay. The galaxy map looks like the one from Helldivers 2. Oh! Okay. So maybe it is Horus Heresy then. Maybe. According to devs, GW offered the Lion for the devs for 40. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's fine. It's just there's no antagonist of equal weight on the other side to justify his presence. You understand? What are the odds they are meeting between Lion and Gilliman in 11th? I mean, probably. Like I said, I'm not 100% on all of that stuff. I haven't read that guy's book because I didn't like what he did to the Alpha Legion, so I don't really want to read what he's going to do to the Lionel Johnson. But people say it's a good book, so I don't know. But yeah, I mean, there has to, like, in terms of the Gilliman side of things, there has to be. I was thinking about this today. Why was I thinking about this today? I've been watching my son, just chilling with him while he's been playing, and then I just find my mind wandering because I thought I was going to do this stream as well. So I thought I need things to talk about, and I was thinking about that when I saw the lion show up in that trailer, which we'll look at in a minute. But like the stuff with Gilliman's already gone through like an internal coup. He's essentially purged the upper reaches of like the Imperium of any opposition. The ecclesiarchy is still an issue. I haven't read that new series. I haven't read a bunch of stuff. I haven't read that new series because people said it was terrible. But the one where the Black Templars run into a Custodes and they decide to go burn heretic on everybody because the Primaris are a heresy, which they are. The Black Templars are completely justified in doing that. I don't know why Helbrecht has betrayed the vision. You know, I don't know why he's betrayed it. It's the Eternal Crusade, man, to defend the holy human form. The Space Marines are a part of the divine will of Gilliman, of the Emperor. How dare Gilliman and this cog? How dare he attempt to alter the divine plan? You know? They were right to do it. Anyway. Gilliman's just had this purge. He's purged the upper reaches of the thing. He's essentially rebuilding, or has rebuilt by now, the Ultramarines Legion. He's pulled in all of the chapters. And, yeah, they've all got their own chapter liveries, but he's essentially replaced all of the upper leadership and all these of his own, all chapters that he can get hold of from his own gene stock and others. But like, he's deposited loyal officers throughout all of them. You know, this whole thing now with, oh, that was interesting, yeah. Because of the popularity of Space Marine 2, I think GW rewrote the lore and have brought Titus in as the captain for that 500 Worlds campaign. I don't think it was going to be them. I don't think it was going to be him. I think it was going to be Sicarius. He was going to task Sicarius to do that. Or Calgar. They remade Calgar. Now they're giving Calgar a new model. So I think just because... I think because Space Marine 2 was so popular and they sold so many models of Titus, I bought him, but they were offering a £10 voucher again. I'm a sucker for a £10 voucher. But, yeah, I think they changed the law and made that model specifically because of the popularity of Total War, and I've slipped him in there like that. I think genuinely, I thought that as soon as I saw those models, and I was like, okay, so you've remade Sicarius and you've remade McCray, and now you're bringing in Titus. So I don't like it really, because like, I feel like he should be separate. I feel like he should be separate, but they're actually making him like a main character. And I'm thinking, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just going to be like, that's going to be the TV show. You get what I mean? I'm thinking that. I'm starting to think that now. It's going to be like Gilliman, Indomitus Crusade stuff. I'm thinking that when the TV show comes out, and we're going to start hearing about that in a couple of months. They're going to have to start putting out their first teasers, that sort of thing, casting people. They've got to start. It's got to be summer. It's got to be summer. If they want a release date of like 2027, they've got to start filming by summer 2026. So stay tuned. Stuff is coming. I mean, it's a good game. It's a great game, but it's like just shoehorning him in as a main character after what? Just not bothering with the character for years. It feels, it's so forced, you know what I mean? But he's really popular and he's really well known. So I understand why. I just feel like whatever they were planning for this 500 World stuff, I reckon they decided like, we've got to have Titus in a game now, immediately. So that's what they've done. Delta T. It's gonna have Space Marines, man. You can't have a Warhammer 40k TV show with funding from Amazon and probably with the British Film Board as well. I would have thought, if they film in this country, going to be a lot of British actors in there. Sorry, Amero Bros, I know, but you know, it's ours. So they're going to be a lot of. Oh yes, for the Emperor. There's going to be a lot of English guys doing the acting. Maybe one or two Americans in there. I've always thought Cadians were American. In my vision, I've always thought Cadians were American. And Catachan, to be honest. But that's because of the Vietnam aesthetic, yeah? The Vietnam vibe. But I've always thought of Cadians as Americans. Because they got that American Army vibe, I guess. Or Starship Trooper vibe, I guess, really, isn't it? And that's like an American thing. Well, technically not. It's Argentina, isn't it? He's from. Rico's from Argentina. But anyway. I digress. I digress. What I was going to say is, on the Gilliman thing, and the Gilliman Lion are going to meet, definitely they will, but they're going to save that for a while, because that will be a confrontation, because the Lion will see what Gilliman's doing. And Gilliman, it's almost like it's a subconscious thing with Gilliman. He can't help himself empire build. And in order to empire build, like Augustus, you have to purge people, you know what I mean? Prescriptions are a necessary feature of a tyranny. And unfortunately for Gilliman, well, this is the hypocrisy of Gilliman. He gives it all this. Enlightenment, blah, blah, blah. What have they done? Ooh, I'm just a tool. Ooh, well, of course you are. You were cloned. You were ground in a vat, mate. What do you think you are? You're his son. What are you thinking? He made you think that, so you do what you're told. Obviously. Anyway, all that. the feature of it of a tyranny, the feature of an empire is you have to have a tyrant at the top. You can't have. Look at Carthage, right? What happened to Carthage, right? An empire needs an emperor, even if not in name. It needs a first citizen. This is how these things function. And Gilliman is the regent, and he's going about doing that because the Imperium has existed for so long. You have all these different tiered levels of power within the bureaucracy. And that's what he's been doing. He's been pulling them out. Who's going to rebel? Who are the religious fanatics who oppose me? All this stuff. Those are great books by Chris Wright. The, are they called is it called The Throne of the Emperor? You got to purge. You've got to purge to secure your power. And he's going to do that to the Imperial Church as well. Right? Because they're causing him problems. Sulla would be... yes. You see, Sulla understood. You don't want to end up like him. Basically, like... I don't know. He's essentially got Nurgle's rot. You know what I mean? You don't want to end up like Sulla. But, yeah. You know, he gave a good show. But that's... all right, let's not get into... like, you know... late Republican history, okay? Let's not get into that. For one, I'm not good with Latin names, so I can never remember what anyone's called. And two, it's not the time or the place. It's not the time or the place, okay? You need prescriptions. Well, this is the thing as a flesh tearer. I mean, and that's the thing. We haven't heard from Seth yet. There's so much stuff that they haven't done. Like, the end of that devastation of Baal thing was the most important thing for the law in terms of the feel of it. When, like, Dante and Seth have that discussion about basically, like, they're going to replace us with these new Primaris. You know, like, it was very poignant. It was very interesting. Because, like, from Seth's perspective, I mean, from a Black Templar's perspective, the Primaris are heresy. I think a lot of people don't know this because a lot of people haven't read the old law, so they don't understand, like, the religious vibe about a lot of this stuff with the Space Marines. The warrior monk thing is like a real thing to them. It's not just a vibe. It's not just a look. They are warrior monks, and they have a very staunch. They are zealots. Yeah, they are true believers in what they believe, and Seth will be as well. But with the, you know, the difference being obviously he's a son of Sanguinius, so they have a different feel about it. They've got a different mythology around themselves as a culture and stuff like that. And the Flesh Tearers, especially compared to the Blood Angels, it's not just that they have this spiritual void from Sanguinius' death that goes down generations. It's also that they are way more susceptible to the mutation. To the it's a spiritual thing as well. It's not just a physical mutation. It's a spiritual mutation. It's a spiritual affliction caused by, like, the sorrow of Sanguinius and the warp. Right. And that's what we found out in that Mephiston short story or the book. Was it a book? I definitely read it somewhere because the Primaris have started to be afflicted by the Black Rage, which makes sense because before they weren't. When they were defrosted by Core, they weren't. Now they've travelled through the universe a little bit and come into contact and been active in the universe and had the warp energy seep into them. They've become one with the universe again. And then, you know, they've encountered other Blood Angels. They've started to be afflicted by the Black Rage. Yeah. It's also a spiritual thing. Yeah. And that's why it was quite poignant. I thought that was a nice ending to the whole devastation of Baal thing. It was really good. But I forgot what I was saying. It's gone. It's gone. It's all gone from me head. Oh, David Charles Jackson. Keep it up. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that, sir. Thank you very much. Why has that only popped up now? Primaris are not the Primaris are a heresy. Okay. And I love Belisarius Core. but he has tampered with powers that he should never have touched. The arrogance. The Wrath of the Lost? I haven't seen this. I haven't read this. The Wrath of the Lost. What's the Wrath of the Lost, man? Wrath of the Lost Black Library. I have not read this. I haven't kept up with GW stuff for a while. Any other new stuff? Chris Forrester. I've never heard of him. Is he a new author? Well, give him a go, man. Flesh Terror stuff is good, man. Did he write the other ones? No, that was Andy Smiley. Yeah, it was Andy Smiley. Okay. Okay, that's cool. I'll look into that, man. I'll look into that. I like that stuff. I like that stuff in 40k. When it's done well. When it's done well. The problem is, a lot of it isn't done well. It's just like, they don't get it, man. They don't get it. They don't get it. Let's have a look at these, man. These are some sick things. This is Dark Omen, for those who don't know. Watching the End Times trailer, watching the trailers from the new Total War stuff has just brought this all back to me. Because obviously it's got this Egyptian vibe. This is, I mean, Khemri didn't exist in the lore. It was just vaguely hinted at that Nagash came from, like when this game came out. The lore was, this was the first time we had any visuals of, like, Khemri. And it wasn't even called Khemri in this. I think it's just called the South. It's good stuff. But this was the one that had the first, it had that vibe, you know. I'm just saying vibe a lot recently. I don't know why. Leave me alone. Here he is. Here's Volkmar. This was so cool when I was 12. In 1998, this was so cool. I remember that mission. Before we go into this, which is cool, I remember that mission. You fight the undead because you're tracking down this countess who Bernard's. I mean, I can't blame him. You know what I mean? She's a looker. But you go down there and you rescue her. You fight this battle against the undead. And you get this amulet. And it's like the worst magic item for this game because it only comes into effect when the character carrying it dies. They blow up. And it's like, well, I don't want that because I don't want my characters to die. Because in Dark Omen, you need to keep every regiment alive. You need to fight every battle and lose as little as possible. Because you can only buy so many reinforcements at the end of each turn. Same with Shadow of the Horned Dragon. Those who've played the games know, all right? It's very much about army management and replaying the games to get the perfect ending. But you get this given to you, and you can't sell it or anything like that. You're just stuck with it, and you're like, oh, okay, great. You know, I got this magic item I never want to use. Cool. Thanks, love. The Hand of Nagash. Oh, man. It seems weird to me that, like, considering the sort of cult nature of this game, that Total War, like, CA, they obviously have are aware of these games, obviously. I think they are massively. But like, it seems weird to me that like they haven't brought in the Grudgebringers as like a mercenary army, just as a bit of fun. Just even as a random mercenary army that appears in the Empire or something, that'd be fun. But if they have the hand of Nagash, that'll be so much fun. That'd be so much fun. I was hoping that he would pop up in the end times originally in the books, but he never did. I'm gutted. I was genuinely reading it like, oh, is he going to show up? That'd be so cool. Pathetic. Oh, here he is. Now this is a cool thing, Musalon. Oh god, this game is so good. You want the you need the conversations between the games though. Like that just really builds it. That really makes it, man. It really makes it. Yeah, but he's like a necromancer. He's kind of like semi-dead anyway. I can't scrub. They've changed the UI on everything. Oh yeah. This game was amazing. The zoomification, the zoomification of AP. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, when this game came out, it was amazing. It was sick, man. I was really impressed. Really, really impressed. But good to see you, Kai. Where are we? Let's watch Musalon. Let's watch Musalon. This is so cool, man. I mean, obviously the graphics are dead dated, but the sound effects and stuff like this are really good. They're really like, they send a shiver down your spine, man. The Black Knights. Oh, no, stop that. Is this the next one? This is it, look at this. This was amazing. I've never seen anything like this in Warhammer. They're marching south. You got a steam tank. First time you never see any of this. There it is. So cool, man. Yeah! Yeah! God, I need to find the wordy bits, man. We need to see the dialogue. The dialogue, Dark Omen dialogue. Dialogue, I guess. Wow, someone's put the full story up 8 years ago. Oh, man. Oh, man. It's like a movie in and of itself. It's a movie in and of itself, man. If I do that. Ugh. Let's slot that in there. Let's slip that in there.
Electronic parts.
Why are the Greenskins invading in such numbers?
I'm not sure. But it seems as if they're being driven north by some unseen power or cloud of fear at their backs. Whatever that unknown force is, it terrifies even the Greenskins. Unaided, we cannot stop the rampaging orcs from breaking through and threatening the Empire itself.
So I'll tell you, this is Sven Karlsson. You've helped Sven Karlsson, you've got history with him. You worked with him. One of his advisors was taking money from Skaven. And you were there to... They burned the capital of Wiesenberg, which is Wiesenland, which is one of the smaller kingdoms within the Border Princes, or principalities, whatever. This is Sven Karlsson. He's the Karl Franz's man in this Border Prince colony.
We are aware of the danger to our empire. Bernhard, I want you to take your army south with Karlsson and deal with this menace. I deal in gold coin for red blood. Or green blood. My army fights for money. The glory we leave to others. Yes, that's understood. Return here victorious from the Border Princes and you'll be well rewarded. And knowing you, you'll pick up loot along the way. Now go and destroy the enemy before it invades the Empire.
I'll gladly place my troops under your command, Morgan.
Wise decision. We head for the Border Princes.
Yeah! Yeah, actually, this might be one of the reasons why I chose the name, to be honest. I've always loved the Border Princes as a place. There we go. This is sick, man. No way. This is all we knew,
Morgan,
though. Never been in these places.
Warband sighted ahead. The Greenskins are in disarray. We can take them by surprise.
Assemble the troops. We'll surprise the enemy with sharp steel. You seem troubled, Klaus.
Teufelbad has become a town of fear and whispers. The townfolk murmur of hungry ghosts, pale faces peering in at the window, the unquiet dead.
Maybe they're just rattled at the prospect of Greenskins at their doorstep.
Greenskins wouldn't inspire this kind of dread. This is something unnatural. Let's hurry on south.
When my men have filled their stomachs, we'll leave.
There's a man here whom I think you know. A wizard by the name of Luther Flamestriker.
Greetings, Commander Bernhard. It has been some time since I last rode with...
All the old gang join, because Shadow of the Horned Rat was the first game. I wonder if he's uploaded Shadow of the Horned Rat, man. I'd love to watch that stuff. Like the music. I've got the soundtrack on my computer, man. I think it's sick. Anyway, sorry. It's a track down memory lane for me, for fun. Dark Omen was a great one. Have you gotten back into fantasy with the release of the Old World? No. I just play Middle Earth. I have not got the time or the energy to play fantasy. And again, I don't want to play... I much prefer Middle Earth. It's a much more fun and quick game. fantasy, even though the rules are quite streamlined and it is just kind of lines clashing, there isn't that much tactical thinking about it, which is why I like Middle-earth, because it's complex enough, but small scale enough to just be fun. And a big game for Middle-earth, 700, 800 points, you can be done in like an hour and a half, 2 hours, an hour and a half. Most games I play, an hour and a half. I can't get into fantasy. It's too much for me. If they bring back Mordheim, though, and I think it's set during that time period, the War of the Free Emperors or whatever it is, I think that's Mordheim time. I would be very interested in playing Mordheim, and I know a lot of people would be. But the same goes for Gorka Morka. I'd play Gorka Morka if Gorka Morka came out. I'd love it. Blood for Gold. Yeah, man. Morgan Bernhardt is great. It's great. They're such good games, man. They're such good games. I recommend picking them up. They're on GOG, right? They're on Good Old Games. I've bought them and downloaded them, but when I bought them, they didn't work properly. But I looked the other day, fairly recently, because I was thinking, I wonder if they have updated it, and they have. They updated it about like a year or two ago, and I haven't looked for about 4 years. But about a year or two ago, they went through that. Final Liberation works now. They've sorted it, because that didn't launch as well. It wouldn't work. Final Liberations works, apparently. I haven't checked. I've got these games. I bought them for like £2 years ago. Dark Omen works, and Shadow of the Horned Rat works. I think Shadow of the Horned Rat worked, but it crashed halfway through, and you can't complete the game because it crashes at this one mission. People complain about it. Yeah, man, they're really good. Oh, Rook Takes Rook. Dude, you are amazing. Thank you ever so much, man. I love looking at stuff people have behind them in the background. I'm doing it for myself for a podcast I'm starting. Dude, you've sent me enough super chats over the years now that yeah, I'll give you a plug. Don't you worry, man. If you start a podcast, no matter what you're talking about, I don't care. But yeah, no, you know, I got a Lord of the Rings picture. I got the Emperor's Palace. That's just a shelf of stuff, man. I mean, yeah, I just sprayed all my Uruk-hai. That's all that's over there. Uruk-hai, Mordor, me dwarfs, me Rohan, all my elves, and the Fellowship. Yeah, that's it. And my only Horus Heresy model is my Fulgrim model that someone I know painted, who was a pro painter, painted for me, because it's an amazing model, the Horus Heresy one, a Fulgrim, and he's like that. Brilliant model. So, yeah. I don't know what to put behind you, because you can just turn things on that, like, it would wash out the back. You used to have a green screen, and you still can, and it's much more effective. But and I have got one. I've got a green screen. I just never use it. But anyway, how are the Uruk-hai doing? I've sprayed them. I just sprayed them. I'm going to use them. I've got like 18 Berserkers. I've got a tournament coming up in January. I'm going to go to, and it's going to be sick, man. I'm going to cut people to pieces. I want to use Berserkers, though. They're really good. They're really good. Really, really good in the game now, compared to how they used to be. But thank you, dude. I really appreciate it. See you later, Hugh. All right. I feel like I've become distracted in my rantings, but this is we're just having a fun time here, guys, right? We're just having a laugh. we're just having fun, right? We're just normal men. We're just innocent men. Yeah, I mean, I think that was that, right? That was that. Let's have a look at the Dawn of War thing. Let's have a look at the trailer.
Peggy 18.
The galaxy lies shattered. The Blood Ravens stand alone. We fight. We bleed. We die.
Oh, there we go. I was thinking this looks a bit low quality.
Peggy 18.
That looked a bit low quality.
The galaxy lies shattered. The Blood Ravens stand alone.
It suddenly becomes 4K.
We bleed.
Yeah, 4K. Sorry, yeah. The first 20 seconds there are not turning 4K. They're just being like low level. And then all of a sudden it becomes 4K movie quality.
For centuries, we have been sworn to defend Kronos. We have returned to find a world in ruin.
In my playthrough, Alexander won the battle for Kronos, so I don't know what he's talking about. It looks like they've retconned it again. The Blood Ravens won.
Warlords infest the surface. Mechanicus priests pursue knowledge long forgotten. Ancient horrors awaken, claiming dominion over all. And something still stirs below. Buried deep, lost for eons, and never meant to return.
I was commenting on this just before I forget to mention it, otherwise. I did some comments on this because I put the Necron video out the other day. People were saying blah, blah, blah. I think, like, I was trying to say to the person in the comments, the problem with the Necrons is it's not that they were like they were saying, like, how did they evolve on their planet to be like the radiation was causing them problems. It wasn't so much that it was causing them problems. It meant that, like, on a genetic level, they could never be immortal, if you get me. Like, their bodies, their physical bodies, because of how they developed, because of their radiation-soaked planet, meant they would die early compared to other races. So despite their mastery of technology, on the same scale as the old ones, they could never be immortal like the old ones, because they're cursed, they're doomed to die. And the old ones didn't help with that. But as I was saying at the time, from the old ones' perspective, you might think that was an arsey thing to do, an unnecessarily cruel thing to do. Why didn't they just help them do that? Well, one, that meant you would have immortal Necrons, not even metal ones, like the fleshy ones, immortal Necrons, and they already seem quite set on, like, enslaving the galaxy. And two, you know, you just meet people and you're like, nah, I don't think we're going to get on. Once this function's over, I'm never going to talk to you again. You add me on Facebook, I'll ignore it. I'll just leave you there forever. You know, that sort of thing. So from the old one's perspective, I get it. I really do get it.
We stand defiant.
No, you don't. You're gonna get slotted, son.
And we are not alone.
Yeah, this is. That's nice. How predictive has 40k turned out to be in terms of... I don't want to go into too many details here, but, like... Turns out 40k was right about how modern warfare would turn out. You know, turns out pretty much everything 40k envisaged for modern warfare has actually worked out to be true. You know? Aside from the orbital bombardment stuff. But even that is kind of understandable. You know, if you just assume that other people have got orbital defences, so you can't really sit around and bomb stuff continuously. You have to be in and out. It makes sense. But yeah, the bikes, the drones, everything. It's quite startling to me. We just need the battle armour now. And that's on its way, man. They've already got the flying guys. That's going to become a thing. Flying guys, exosuits. The future is set, man.
Our future is untold. Only one thing is certain.
That's a good shot.
War has returned
Here he is.
to Cronus.
Here he is. I don't like the Emperor's Shield thing. You know. I don't like the Emperor's Shield thing. But it's fine. It's a good add-on, I guess. Everybody needs a unique gift. But, he also wrote Lord of the... Who wrote this? Okay, oh, John French wrote it. Okay. That's good. The first have also responded to the call. It's just weird that they've got... Like, it's fine. I mean, it's cool, I guess. You know, they need to have a Primarch. But, like, it seems unfair. You know? It doesn't seem particularly fair. They've got a Primarch. Jonas is still standing. Maybe. Orcs won in Soulstorm? Did they? Is that what it says? Dawn will get the Emperor's hand. Well, he needs one. I mean, that's the old law, right? Like, they've got his hands somehow. That's the old law. They've got Dawn's hand. And they write their names on his bones. They scrimshaw. Because they're completely normal people, you know. They're just scrimshawing. Oh, God. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, man. All right, so what time is it now? 9 o'clock. What am I even doing here? I might play some games. I don't know. I don't know. Right, so Dawn of War's coming. I'll stay positive about these things. It looks okay. But I feel like having played the rebooted version, whatever it's called, the definitive edition, I was kind of a bit like, I'm just done with like RTSs now. I'm not too fussed, you know. I'm not too fussed. He looks nice though, man. He's a really good looking model as well. Look at him, because they've done it as well, so you can detach the. And I'm not too sure how to feel about that. But you don't have to put. They're giving you different heads, so you can take off all his stuff, so he looks like this desiccated augmetic corpse, which is nice. I do like that. But anyway, what's this? This. Oh, there was something I wanted to show you as well. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Now, of course, this would come out like a week after I actually put my own Shelob together. My old crappy metal one. Look at this for a Shelob. Look at it. That's amazing. That's what they're doing in Middle-earth now in this edition. They've released all the lists. And now they're releasing these. I can't believe it's very popular. I don't think most people play Middle-earth for like narrative games. Like, let's recreate this scenario. You know, like most people, I mean, pretty much everybody I know who plays Middle-earth, or I'm aware of, we all play it to go to tournaments and play like competitively against each other. I don't know anyone who does standalone scenarios or is part of a longer campaign. I don't know anyone who's playing a campaign who's got time for that. But I need this Shelob. Now, the army that Shelob is part of, she can be in another army, like Legions of Mordor. I think it is like the list that includes everything. That you don't really get any bonuses for, but you're allowed to take everything. She does appear in there, and she's like a really odd. You would think it was like a monster that charged in, but it doesn't really play like that. You've got to be very selective and careful with what you use. But she's very cheap for what she is, and she comes as part of the Cirith Ungol list. So then you've got Shaggers, and oh, my mind's gone. Anyway, you got the two captains from Cirith Ungol, and at 500 points, you can basically get her, the Uruk guy with, you know, like a couple of Uruk guys, the other guys, Shagrat. Who's the other guy? Shagrat and my mind's gone completely. You can get the other guy with like a warband of orcs, like a banner, maybe like a cap, and then you get like a generic captain slot him in there. And, you know, that's your list for 500 points, which is like on the smaller side for Middle-earth. 700 is the average. But a 500-point list, that's like an hour and a half game. Easy. You know, you'd probably be done in an hour, to be honest. But it's a nice... Most one-day tournaments are like 500 points. And you usually get like 4 games in. Maybe 5. But they're like an hour or an hour and a half, hour 15 minutes. But you can get her and then them guys, and that's a nice little army for fun. Because she's a really interesting... It's a really interesting... how the rules function. It's more of a... I don't know, it's difficult to explain if you don't play the game. But trust me, it doesn't play like... It's not like a troll. You just charge in as like a hard monster. You have to use it really careful and zip it round the back and stuff. But look at it. Looks amazing. Really, really excited about it. I'm going to be picking that up. Going to be picking that up for sure. For sure! That's basically all the news I've got. I'll be streaming tomorrow to go over Space King. We'll watch Space King together. And I'll be streaming for the announcement of the Warhammer 40k or Horus Heresy, but probably 40k Total War game, which is on the 11th or the 12th. I think the 12th. I think it's the 12th for me. It's at like 12:30 at night for me in the morning. So I'll stay up and I'll do that. But yeah, that's it. Yeah. Other than my random rantings. Yeah, what we got here? Magic Pain Glove. Oh, God, that Space Marine novel, man. That Space Marine novel. I can't get distracted and talk about that now. You know what I'm going to do? I've been streaming for about 2 hours now. What I was going to do is play some Total War, but I think I might leave it, and then I'll play Total War tomorrow while we're waiting for Space King to come out, or during, or, you know, or after. I think that's enough for me now tonight. I really, really appreciate it anyway, you guys watching. I will try and stream much more regularly. Yeah, really appreciate the support. Thank you, guys. Can't thank you enough. I'm working through this issue I'm having with getting dumped on by YouTube at the second, but we just got to be consistent. It's already going up, you know. I've just got to be consistent and keep pushing through. But I am going to do an end times video, but I think because of the length of it, it'll probably end up being 2 or 3 videos, I think. We'll have to see. Because, like basically, if it ends up being... I might have to turn it into, like 3 5-hour videos or 4-hour... the maximum video you can do is 12 hours. And I think there'd be too much to slot into 12 hours. Unless I chopped and changed things and cut some stuff out. I'd have to see how it goes. I'll probably just have to get everything recorded and then see what goes together. And then see... Yeah, I'll have to do that. Because I won't know. I won't know if it's too long or too short. Yeah, I'll have to record everything. And then edit it afterwards and see whether it turns into 3 videos or can be one giant video. I don't know. I just don't know. But I'm going to go. I'll be back again tomorrow. Reasonably early. Probably about 5 for me. So whatever your time zone is. I will play some Total War, man. I'm gonna play Carl Franz. I'm going to paint the world red. But I am tired. I'm hoping to get a better night's sleep tonight. My kid is not coughing as much today. Well, so I'm told. So hopefully he sleeps. Because last night was murder. But I went and slept in the spare room. So I had a nice night's sleep. I'm going to go. Thank you all for watching. And yeah, I will be streaming more regularly. Weekends now are going to be pretty consistently. I'm going to stream at least once or twice. And I'm hoping to stream in the days going forward. And that will mostly be like gaming and covering any events, I guess. Maybe we'll move into some different areas. History, other sci-fi stuff. I don't know. Maybe it'll turn into more of a general podcast. I don't know. I'll see how it goes. But I just got to start streaming more regularly. Yeah. And I'll get a better camera. But anyway. Nagel has visited your family. Yes, unfortunately. It's inevitable with a 3-year-old. It is inevitable. 3 years old? My kid's 3 years old? Can't believe it. Shocking. He's massive. He's talking. He attacks me. He attacks me all the time. Jumps on me. It's great. Anyway, I'll see you later, everybody. Have a good weekend. And again, I'll be back tomorrow early evening. Stay tuned. And yeah, thank you all again. Please give the stream a like. So on and so forth. Hype, whatever. I don't know. I'll be back again. I might wear my suit again tomorrow. I don't know. Thank you all for watching. And I hope you enjoy the content. There'll be a new video. Okay, Eye of Terror. This is a spoiler for you guys who watch the thing. The Eye of Terror video will be released on Sunday. Okay? It's done. It's ready to go. I'll tell you this before I go. I had an annoyance with it. I basically did all this editing on it. I used various things to edit and improve the audio. And the audio sounded sick. It sounded sick. Seriously. I did that video a long time ago. I did it in a bit of an echoey room. So I think it's fine. But it sounds a lot echoey. It sounds a lot echoey. It sounds echoey. But it's fine. But by chance, when I was splicing together the different chapters, I was listening to the one chapter and it had the demon, the Zench demon talking, going, wah, wah, wah. What I've done with the audio, it's done great thing with my main like my voice, my narration voice, the main voice. What it's done is it's destroyed all of the other voices. So the demon voices, so the Zench demon going, or the one, the famous, the well-known line for those of you who listen to Eye of Terror, you know, when he's going, Maynard. It's because it's not my voice. Everything I've done has been based on my voice being the main voice. So all of the little sound adjustments and stuff like this I've done, they've ruined everything that isn't my voice. And there's no way around it. Like, I would have to listen to all of it and find every single character voice, because it's done it to all of them. Basically, anything that isn't my voice is ruined. The Maynard things turns into ridiculous. The bird voice, it goes from to you know, like all the demons, to all the even just the character voices. Some of them not so bad, but like a lot of them are like just atrocious. Or you can't hear them at all. It's like it's proper lowered them. So apologies. I cannot update that without re-recording everything, because it's too much of a big job to go through and splice out every single character interaction and know for certain I've got everything. You get me? It's too much of a job. So what I've done is essentially I think I've made some alterations. I don't know, but I'm essentially just uploading the original. Basically, I hoped to improve it because the main voice sounds great. It's really improved. It sounds like audiobook quality. Not just in terms of my performance, which is amazing, but like the actual sound of it. It sounds a lot richer. It sounds a lot better. But I just can't get around this. So yeah, it is unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. I was really gutted, and I'm glad I caught it though, because I didn't know. It was only because this one chapter starts off with the demon talking, and I was like, that's not right, hang on. And then I went through, and I was like, oh no. And then I went through and checking, okay, what about this character? I do an American voice in the one thing, and it's messed with that, because it's like trying to read. I won't go into it, but when I've adjusted levels and all this sort of stuff, and changed things, and done a high pass filter, and all this sort of stuff, I don't know what it is. I've never encountered this before, but it means I've got to be a lot more careful with anything I do update, which I am, basically. I am being very careful. So yeah, basically, I just got to upload the original, and hopefully that's good enough. I mean, people seem to like it at the time. It's always been consistently viewed and stuff, so yeah. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, but that's going to be coming out on Sunday. It's essentially just a re-upload. I was hoping to, like I say, alter it, make it better, but I just can't unless I re-recorded the whole thing, and I have not got time for that. So I don't know, maybe in the future. But yeah, you're getting the original back on Sunday, so at least that's something, eh? But I'll be back anyway soon. Well, tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow and we'll watch The New Space King. I think it's the ending, isn't it? That's like the last one. So hopefully that's really good. Really funny. I'll be back soon. Have a good weekend anyway, if I don't see you. But yeah, definitely come. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Thank you all for watching, and thank you for the donations and the memberships and everything as well, lads. I really, really appreciate it. It massively helps me out at the moment. Massively. So yeah, I'm going to go. Ta-ra. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.